Hello folks, White Guy here again. You know, I'm going to do something different today. I'm on my way to go do a leather job. I've got to repair a piece of leather furniture out of town. It's a good hour drive. Anyway, I thought, what the heck, I'd do a video. The name of this video is called The White Guy Lazarus and the Rich Man Prophecy. Okay? I'm going to prove that story that's been horribly perverted by doctors of men is a prophecy, or part of a major prophecy. And so bear with me here. I'm holding this camera with my hand, and I'm being very wise. I don't believe in being careful because I want to be carefree. I don't want to be full of care. But I am trying to be wise here, okay? So it's only going to be a short video explaining Isaiah 42:6, all right, where it says, quote, I am the Lord, I have called you in righteousness. I will also hold you by the hand and watch over you, and I will appoint you as a covenant to the people, as a light to the Gentiles. Aha. Close quote. Anyway, no, Isaiah didn't write in aha. But anyway, bear with me here for a second. You know, I want to take note. If you look that verse up in your Bibles, you're going to find out that the word you, where it says you all the time in it, was capitalized. And and it was used 4 times. I also want you to take note of that word Gentiles. That is critical. But anyway, this verse in Isaiah, it should be obvious that it's speaking of Jesus and about Jesus. So anyway, this prophecy, in part, one in Isaiah, is what Jesus was referring to when sharing the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. Yet unfortunately, deceived and indoctrinated Christians have made this parable all about a fictitious place called hell or Hades. That's sad. That's just sad. Well, anyway, I'm coming up on a stop sign here just a moment. Like I said, I want to be wise. When in reality, it's great news, folks. That parable, Lazarus the Rich Man, is great news about how Jesus was going to be a light to the Gentiles spoken about in Isaiah 42:6. Okay? So, let's move on here. Literally. So, anyway, how so? How was it a prophecy? Or how do I apply it to Lazarus and the rich man? Or, you know, this Isaiah passage. Well, the rich man represents Israel, okay, in that parable. And and this rich man, as representing Israel, was supposed to be ambassadors to the Gentiles. Israel was supposed to be ambassadors of God to the Gentiles, as basically a light. You know, a light, an ambassador of God's. Yet that didn't happen. That did not happen. So why? Why didn't that happen? You know, I'm going to loosely use the word, but it's proper. Usually use the words great divide, which is used in that parable. I'm going to use it loosely, and you'll understand in a moment why I'm doing so. Just a moment. Okay, because, you know, there was a great divide. Use that term. There was a great divide between Israel and the Gentile nations, was there not? And so why was there this great divide? Because there was also a great divide between how the Jews replaced God's loving nature with the law. And the Gentiles didn't follow the Jewish law. Okay? Stay with me. Stay with me. But what about Lazarus? What about Lazarus? Lazarus is a Gentile name for the Hebrew name Elazar. Okay? So now the next question has to be, who was Elazar? Well, he was Abraham's sidekick in the Genesis story. And as written, he was very close to Abraham's heart, his bosom. See where that term comes in? Abraham's bosom? Lazarus was in Abraham's bosom, as Jesus portrayed in the New Testament parable. All right? So he was so close to Abraham that the Old Testament wrote of how Abraham was going to leave his entire inheritance, okay, to Lazarus long before Isaac was even born. So anyway, stay with me here. Get this. I got some road construction up here. Just a minute. Anyway, get this. Abraham was planning on giving the covenant he had with God over to a Gentile, Lazarus, okay? Lazarus was a Gentile in the story of Lazarus and the rich man. Just a moment here. Sorry about this, but I thought that was a unique way of doing a video. Anyway, do you know if Abraham did give the covenant of God over to Lazarus in this case, that if that would have happened, the physical nation of Israel would have never happened. I don't believe so. You get it? Get what I'm getting at here? So I'm about halfway through here, I believe. So simply put, this beautiful good news parable of Lazarus and the rich man is all about how God was going to usher in his promises, the Abrahamic covenant, through the Gentile nations. And that's exactly what has happened in history. Anyway, Israel isn't sending out missionaries proclaiming Jesus is Lord, are they? Okay. So instead, getting ready to get on the freeway here. But instead of using just common sense, practical, real-life scenarios, Christendom has promoted and attached a hell or Hades narrative to this great parable. So why? Why did they do that? Because a rich man was in a place called the unseen. In the Koine Greek, the ancient pagan Latin church perverted the word unseen in this passage and changed it to hell, while the Greeks changed it to Hades, while other perverted versions, like I said, use the Greek word Hades instead. Well, the word unseen has never meant hell or Hades in any language, folks, ever. So you don't agree? Then why is the Latin word for unseen invisibilis and not hell? You know, I've said that before in a previous video, if you recall it. And why is the Greek word for unseen erertos, and I probably said it wrong, but not Hades? All right, folks, we've been duped for so long. All right, so coming close to an end here. The rich man Israel, okay, was in a place called the unseen, as defined in my Koine Greek as clandestine, secretive, and or unknown. In other words, clueless. Okay, that's the best word that we can use that best defines that. Well, the parable depicting how Israel was clueless about how the Abrahamic covenant was going to be fulfilled by the Gentiles. See, that just burned in the rich man. I mean, that burned him. That fire of knowledge, that flame tormented him, as it says in that parable. Well, in closing this video, it's as simple as that, folks. It really is. So remember this video the next time that some religious deceived and indoctrinated clown tries to use that Lazarus parable of Lazarus and the rich man, to prove the existence of hell. Ridiculous. I used to promote the same thing, so I was ridiculous too. Well, anyway, look me up on Facebook under a group called the White Guy Group. And it is a private group, and I have made it completely private. It's not even open now to the public, like it used to be. It used to be where you couldn't interchange, but you couldn't post, but you can still see what was in the group. Now you can't unless you join the group. I asked 3 questions for you to join if you happen to check it out. All right. I have a public timeline under the name of John Anthony Jones, which you can see, which is obviously public. So you can, and I always post what's in the Y Guy on Jonathan Jones anyway. John Anthony Jones. I'm going to scroll down in the Show Me More sections. You're going to see 6 links. I would sure appreciate you checking them out. And I'm going to take my hand off the steering wheel to do this. Did you remember that thumb? I put my knee on there. I told you earlier I was going to be wise and I go and do this. Sometimes I'm an idiot. Well, thank you for viewing.